Hi everyone, my name is Athar and I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the topic white speak. So the article that we read by Law and Cordigan described white speak as the modalities, practices, and expectations of white speech. I would say that white speech is also used as a standard to regulate other types of languages and speech as well. So for me, my most prominent personal experience with white speak was in my most recent past position or job that I just quit this May. So in that job, I feel like my language was heavily policed and it wasn't preferred. So as for me personally, I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, and like a lot of people up north, we project our voices, we speak very fast, we talk with our hands as well. So that was labeled as aggressive. However, I had another coworker who was from New York. She was a more mature woman. She was very tell it how it is, get straight to the point. She was actually louder than me. She was like very loud. We can hear her from across the room. But there was like no complaints. She was labeled as a tough cookie, just a straight direct person. But for me, I was labeled as aggressive. And I really think that was because I was a person of color. So another note that I made is that white speak limits diversity and potential for new ideas. So when a person of color has a new idea to bring to the table, or a good and productive idea to bring to the table, and a person of non-color just focuses on the way they speak based on the white speak standard, it kind of limits innovation and it kind of stops the process of bringing ideas from people of different backgrounds to the table so that that company or that workplace can move forward in the best way possible. I also said that from the material that we read, that white speak silences, disciplines, and disrupts regulating non-white norms. So as for my experience, I also remember times that I kind of suggested that we try something different as far as holiday parties or get together and celebrations, just because what we celebrated and how we celebrated it didn't reflect the multicultural staff that we had. They were traditional white celebrations picked by the little white management that we had, even though the majority of the staff or the greater body of the staff were people from multicultural backgrounds. Even our clientele as well. Our clientele was actually very multicultural. So I kind of brought it up and just said, it doesn't really reflect that. And that wasn't taken too well because the feedback that I got was that I was disrupting traditions and things like that. So I thought that workplace was very culturally insensitive, and it very much did regulate everything according to white speak. And I actually like that part where it says regulating non-white norms, because it doesn't always have to be just exactly around white speak. It could be other things that are considered white norms, such as traditions and the way things are done. Also, I made note that rhetoric is the process of meaning making. So the people who get to say what something means are the people who are in power. So that tends to be white males, and they're the ones who judge everything else and create meaning of everything else based on white speak. So they're the ones who get to say that something is appropriate or inappropriate. As for me, just because I come from a multicultural background, I guess, I've never really made it an assumption about somebody based on how they speak. Just because, for one, I'm a first-generation American, so I've heard foreign languages, non-foreign languages, people who are trying to learn English. I've heard it all. Also, lived in different neighborhoods as well. So I've lived in predominantly Black neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods, and then my workplace and my school has exposed me to other types of demographics as well. So for me, I don't think I've ever judged anybody based on how they speak, just because I know that somebody can speak with a lot of slang and ebonics, but be very intellectual, and somebody can use very sophisticated language, but what they're saying has no content to it. And as far as number 3, it says, what is appropriate language? For me, I focus on the actual content and intention of what somebody is saying. Just because for me, I know people can speak different ways. Like my mother, who speaks sometimes broken English, or I speak very fast, or I have a 5-year-old who kind of speaks, slowly or just all over the place. So appropriate language for me is is based on what the content is. So if it's hurtful content, then I would say it's inappropriate. But if it's something that actually makes a very good point, then I would say it's appropriate. So overall, I really enjoyed this assignment. I tried to speak fast to kind of keep it to 2 to 3 minutes, but I just wanted to make sure to touch on every point. I really enjoyed the material, and I'm just looking forward to the next video. Thank you for watching.